$300,000 is a number that means completely different things depending on where in America you're standing when you say it. In one city, it's a down payment on a one-bedroom condo. In another, it's a four-bedroom house with a yard, in a neighborhood with good schools, with $20,000 left over. This video is not about telling you where to live. It's about showing you exactly what you're trading when you choose a location. Because most first-time buyers make this decision based on where they grew up or where their friends are, not based on what $300,000 actually buys them in each place. Let's go city by city. San Francisco. $300,000 in San Francisco is a down payment, not a purchase price. The median condo price is over $900,000. A $300K budget gets you a fractional ownership arrangement in a converted building or a studio in a neighborhood most buyers would find challenging. If you're a first-time buyer with a $300K budget, San Francisco is effectively a closed market. That's not your fault, and it's not a failure. It's math. Los Angeles. Same story in the core city. Silver Lake, Los Feliz, Santa Monica. 300K doesn't buy a livable primary residence. In the Outer Inland Empire, you can find a three-bedroom single family for $300,000, but you're looking at a 60 to 90-minute commute to central LA employment. For remote workers, this can work. For everyone else, you're trading 2 to 3 hours of your day for affordability. Miami. Miami has a specific 2026 problem on top of its general affordability problem. Insurance. Homeowners insurance in South Florida now runs $4,000 to $8,000 a year for standard coverage, and that number keeps rising as climate risk gets priced in. At $300K, your mortgage payment is manageable. Your insurance payment is not. Factor that in before you fall in love with the idea of Miami. Nashville. Nashville was affordable 5 years ago. It isn't now at $300,000. You're looking at a small condo in the city or an entry-level single family in outer suburbs with long commute distances. The city's growth has been real, but it's pushed prices to the point where $300K puts you at the margins of the market, not comfortably in. The cities where $300K works. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix has corrected meaningfully from its 2022 peak, and buyer leverage is real here. At $300,000, you can find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single family in Glendale, Avondale, or Mesa in the $280,000 to $310,000 range, 1,400 to 1,700 square feet, established neighborhood, and actual yard. Inventory is up, sellers are negotiating, and new construction builders are offering rate buy-downs. If you're moving to Phoenix, your timing is reasonable right now. Dallas-Fort Worth. In the DFW suburbs, Mesquite, Rowlett, Wiley, $300,000 buys a newer 3-bedroom in a master-planned community. The catch is Texas property taxes at 1.8% of assessed value, roughly $450 a month on a $300K home, which materially affects your monthly budget. Eyes open on that number going in. Atlanta. Atlanta at $300,000 has real options in established neighborhoods. East Point, College Park, parts of Decatur, 3-bedroom single-family homes with character in the $270,000 to $310,000 range. In suburban Gwinnett or Cherokee County, the same budget buys newer and larger. Atlanta is one of the better major metros for a $300K first-time buyer right now. Columbus, Ohio. $300,000 in Columbus buys you a genuinely good house. In Worthington or Dublin, established suburbs with top-rated schools. You're at the entry level, but you're in. In Clintonville or Bexley-adjacent neighborhoods, you can find updated 3-bedroom homes with real character for $250,000 to $290,000, leaving you with budget to spare. Columbus is a real city with real things to do, and $300K goes further here than in almost any comparable metro. Kansas City. This is the #1 value market on this list. On the Kansas side, Overland Park, Lenexa, Shawnee, $300,000 buys an updated 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath single family in a safe neighborhood with strong schools. We're talking 2,000 to 2,400 square feet. This is genuinely exceptional value for a first-time buyer with a normal income. If your life is location flexible, Kansas City deserves serious consideration. Huntsville, Alabama. The surprise entry. At $300,000 in Huntsville, you can find brand new construction, 3 to 4 bedrooms, granite countertops, open floor plan, 2-car garage, and master planned communities in Madison or Harvest. Alabama property taxes under 0.5% mean your monthly payment is materially lower than the same priced home in Texas or Illinois, and you're buying in a city with a growing high-income economy. This is the best-kept secret on this list. Before you take any of this and make a life decision, here's how to think about it clearly. The value gap between the best and worst markets on this list is not small. The same $300,000 buys a studio arrangement in San Francisco or a 4-bedroom house in Kansas City. That's not a marginal difference. That's a completely different quality of life and financial trajectory. But value per square foot isn't the only variable. You are also buying into a job market, a social network, a climate, a culture. The financial case for Kansas City is strong. If you hate cold winters, have family in LA, or work in an industry concentrated in a specific city, the financial case has to be weighed against real-life factors. What I'd encourage you to do is separate 2 questions that often get conflated. Question 1, what is the financially optimal choice? Run that math honestly using the framework in this video. Question 2, what life trade-offs are you willing to make? That's a personal question only you can answer. What I'd caution against is making question 2 without ever doing question 1, which is what most people do. They choose location first and then try to make the finances fit, rather than understanding the financial reality clearly and then deciding what trade-offs are worth it. The housing market in 2026 is genuinely hard for first-time buyers. But the difficulty is not evenly distributed. In some markets, $300,000 is a rounding error. In others, it buys you a real life. Knowing the difference and being honest with yourself about what flexibility you actually have is one of the most valuable things you can do before you start seriously looking. If you want to see what mortgage payment $300,000 actually produces in each of these cities with current rates factored in, that's in my video on exactly how to calculate what you can afford. Link in the description. 3 real estate videos a week, always honest, never hype. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.